Good morning. I'd like to talk about faith without works is dead. Now, only because we're in a viral tsunami right now, and the whole world, not just us, or not just me, is faced with what do I need to do to get through it, not just physically with the sanitization practices and making sure that I wash my hands and wash my hands and wash my hands. But what can I do from an emotional standpoint? Because it's getting worse. This whole pandemic is challenging people. They're home. They have no place to go, particularly the places they'd like to go, the places they've gone their whole life, or I've gone my whole life. Because again, this is really how I'm coping. I'm not suggesting that anybody take on my religious preference. We all need to, I believe, depend on a power greater than ourselves. Because as humans, we're pretty incapable of doing the things we really need to do in life without that spiritual support. For me, that support comes from that power greater than me is God. And I've needed faith my whole life because I've gone through some challenging times, and I'm sure a lot of you have as well. But those times required me to ask why, and what do I do, and how do I get through it? And how do I fight the fight? What's the defense I need in order to get through it? And it's not a matter of just winning, or even if I don't win, it's a matter of coping and not losing. I don't believe there is such a thing as losing. I don't believe that if you're playing in a Little League game as a young boy and you lose the game, that doesn't mean you're a loser. It just means that you have to cope with the consequences. And for me, that's how it is in life. Coping. The best way to do that. And I referenced the Bible because that sentence that says, faith without works is dead. I want to provide a quick visual, and I'm not going to bore you with a lot of religious input. What I have here for a visual is this bag. And this bag by itself is just a bag. It was made by a human being to be just that, a bag, but with a purpose other than just being what you see here. Like me, I believe I was made to be something that I had a purpose that God intended me to have. And there's a lot of things that have happened in my life to be able to validate that. So for this bag of faith, and I'm going to refer to this as faith, just because I want to. This faith is dead because it's not being in a situation where it's being worked like we have to be, I have to be. My faith without works is dead. So here I am. I sit here today, and I am faith. I have faith. But that faith just sits idle, like this bag sits idle in the back seat of my car, or in my first aid kit, or on a table somewhere. It's not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a bag that you shake, particles fall to the bottom, and once you work this faith by squeezing it, it becomes that which it was intended to be. It's an ice pack. You put it on wounds. You put it on swelling. That's what it's supposed to be. Who am I supposed to be? I don't know. Unless I practice my faith. I do the works. Now, there's been many times in my life when I haven't done that, and I've pretty much crashed and burned. I'm not going to deny it. Because I let go, I stopped doing the work. Now, how do we do the work? How do we become what we're supposed to be, as far as I'm concerned? It's pretty simple. The works are outlined. They've been outlined since Moses brought them down off the mountain. You have the 10 Commandments. Simple. We're not going to kill. We're not going to commit adultery. We're not going to have a false God. We're going to believe in the God that the God is. And there's 8 more. Loving thy neighbor is difficult to do in a lot of cases. Especially when his dog comes over and starts crapping on your front lawn. But do we really not love our neighbors? Because if we don't, we're not practicing all the commandments. We're not doing the work. If we're not doing the work, then we're just faith that's dead. We sit dormant. And like I said, faith, or like the Bible says, not me, faith without works is dead. And I just wanted to share that as a visual. You need to work your faith. Don't just have it. Don't just put it on the counter. Don't just put it on the couch and watch TV. Work the faith. Work it in belief. You can fool yourself. You can fool your neighbors. You can fool your loved ones. But you can't fool God. You may think you can, but you can't. Ultimately, you're going to find out you can't fool God because of the way your life ends up becoming. Lost and worried and not feeling the love and the passion to live. We're not here for a long time in life. Life is very short. You know, the experience of my life is, for my loved ones, it's been extremely short. I'm blessed to be where I am at 70 years old, and I think in a lot of cases I've been able to get there, not just because it was God's will, or because I've been fortunate, I've been blessed, I've been lucky. But in order to embrace those blessings, and we should be embracing those every day rather than all the stuff that's going on, because that's going to go on. We can't stop it. We can mitigate it, and we can do the things we're told to do in order to slow it down so that it will eventually just subside and become a level line and disappear. And we get back to lives that we've known, that we've lived with our whole life. But to be there, we've got to do the work. Let the tsunami ride, but do the work to cope with it. Count the blessings. I mean, they're all around us, and you know, ultimately we're discovering more of our own blessings because we're able to do less by recognizing the things we have. People are spending more time with their children. They're at home teaching their children, and that's becoming tough for a lot of people. But it's also a great thing. And we become more innovative. We just start, you know, it's like going on a diet when you start eating things you've never eaten before, and you say, wow, this is good. Being home and doing the things you really never did all the time, now, it's good. It's right. So let's do this, even if it's just for today or for a week. Just take this dormant faith, work it, take our dormant faith, work it, and see the change that happens in our lives. I guarantee that if you work the faith and you don't keep it dormant, your life's going to improve. Not because the situation's improved, because irregardless of how much faith I have, bad things can happen, and they will. They happen to all of us, and it's just a matter of time. Life doesn't give us a break. Life doesn't pick and choose certain ethnic groups. It doesn't pick and choose certain professions. Everybody is susceptible to loss and tragedy and hurt. I can sit here talking about faith right now and go outside and get hit by a car or get killed by a car. That's just life on life's terms. It can happen. We can't avoid it. We can't avoid death. But as I've realized, as many of you do, that you start here at birth and then you start moving towards the end of life, and the longer you live, the shorter that span becomes. And we become very vulnerable and knowledgeable and afraid that life is going to be over. So in that time I have left, I mean, 70 is not old, but I'm certainly getting closer to the end of life. I need to really be stronger and not only have the faith, but share that as a best practice. And that's all I'm trying to do today, is take the faith that lies dormant, work it, and work yourself. Have a great day, and stay safe.